In 52 BCE, Julius Caesar faced his greatest challenge. Outnumbered, surrounded, stretched thin, he was besieging a fortress while being besieged himself. But instead of retreating, Caesar built a wall around an enemy city, then built another wall to defend himself from a massive relief army. This is the story of the Siege of Alesia, the battle that broke Gaul, made Caesar a legend, and changed the fate of Europe. Julius Caesar had been waging war in Gaul for years, expanding Rome's reach and his personal power. But in 52 BCE, the tribes of Gaul united under one charismatic warrior, Vercingetorix, a noble of the Arverni tribe. Intelligent, disciplined, and fiercely defiant, he led a massive rebellion against Rome. His tactics were brutal and effective scorched earth strategy, burning fields and towns to starve the Romans, guerrilla warfare, avoiding open battle. After several skirmishes, Vercingetorix retreated to the fortified city of Alesia, high on a plateau in modern-day France, believing Caesar wouldn't dare lay siege. He was wrong. Caesar could not take Alesia by storm. The city was well defended and high above the plains, so he made a bold choice. He would starve them out. But to do that, he'd have to prevent supplies, breakouts, and reinforcements. So Caesar ordered something unprecedented. His army of 60,000 men began constructing a massive wall, a ring of fortifications 11 miles around Alesia. Towers every 80 feet, ditches, ramparts, sharpened stakes, even hidden pits lined with spikes called lilies. This was the circumvallation, to keep the enemy inside. But Caesar knew something else was coming, a Gallic relief army. So while keeping Alesia trapped, he built another wall, this time facing outward. A second ring of fortifications, 14 miles long. This was the contravallation, to defend against the rescuers. He had built two fortresses, back to back. Rome wasn't just fighting a siege. Rome became the fortress. Vercingetorix's messengers had done their work. A massive relief force of 250,000 Gallic warriors approached from the outside. Caesar was now completely surrounded. Inside the walls, 80,000 desperate Gauls. Outside the walls, 250,000 warriors. In the middle, Caesar and his 60,000 legionaries. The Gauls attacked from both sides. From within, Vercingetorix launched coordinated sorties against the inner wall. From without, the relief force slammed into the outer defenses. Caesar's legions were exhausted, constantly shifting between the two walls. But discipline held. And the walls, reinforced with trenches, stakes, and traps, slowed the Gallic charges. Still, it was only a matter of time. On the final night, the Gallic relief army discovered a weak point on the northwest side, a low-lying plain near a Roman camp. They attacked in force. Vercingetorix coordinated from inside, launching another internal strike. Thousands of Gauls smashed into the Romans on both sides. Caesar, watching from a tower, made his move. He pulled elite reserves, the Germanic cavalry, and led them himself on a flanking charge. As the enemy attacked the weak point, Caesar struck their exposed side, driving them back in chaos. At the same time, Roman infantry inside surged out, pinning Vercingetorix's troops and trapping them. It was over. The Gallic relief army broke and fled. Vercingetorix surrendered. The next day, Vercingetorix did something unforgettable. He mounted his horse, rode out of Alesia, and presented himself to Caesar. In silence, he dismounted, removed his armor, and knelt before his conqueror. It was the image of a broken rebellion and the birth of a Roman province. Vercingetorix was taken to Rome, held for 6 years, and then publicly executed during Caesar's triumph. The Gallic resistance was crushed. Gaul would remain under Roman control for centuries. The Siege of Alesia wasn't just a military victory, it was a political masterpiece. Caesar had defeated the greatest Gallic leader, united a divided Rome under his command, and secured the loyalty of the legions. He wrote about it in Commentarii de Bello Gallico, framing himself as the hero of civilization against barbarism. His fame exploded. But it also made the Senate nervous. In just a few years, Caesar would cross the Rubicon, ignite civil war, and take control of the Roman Republic. The seeds of empire were planted here, on the blood-soaked hills of Alesia. Alesia was more than a siege. It was a turning point in Western history. It was the moment Rome tamed Gaul, and when Caesar proved that walls, discipline, and daring could defy the impossible. If you enjoyed this story of genius strategy and brutal warfare, subscribe and join us for more legendary battles of Rome. And let us know in the comments, was Caesar the greatest general of all time? Or just the best storyteller? Until next time, Fortuna audaces iuvat.